If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Matt Griffith, the head football coach and athletic director at Sylacauga High School, joins us on our Coach's Corner, brought to you by Stop and Shop Auto Sales on West 1st Street in Sylacauga. And Coach, a nail biter last Friday night at the stadium. Even though it came down to that one kick, you had to win in overtime too.
You did, and you know we feel. I mean, we were so excited after the game. We were excited for Cole. We were excited for our team. But then when all of it wears back down, you're a little upset that it should have never come to that. Mm-hmm. We had full control of the game for most of the game, and then got down the wire and had to make some excellent play. I mean, we take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down the field and score. But Montgomery's a very athletic team right there. This kid right here, this number 3, worried me all week. He's one of the fastest kids that I thought I had seen all year. They don't play him a lot at running back. I don't understand why they don't. He's dangerous. The quarterback was dangerous. You know, they're just very athletic. This was a big-time play. We blocked 2 punts. You know, the disappointing thing, we only came away with points twice. You know, we should have had a score here. This was Malik breaking one in the third quarter, I do believe. You know, we were up 19-8 most of the game, and then let them crawl back into it and just never could quite put them away. Number 8's a phenomenal. I tell you, phenomenal quarterback. Got behind us right there on a busted coverage, and you know, you have to give hats off to Mumford. They never quit. They never thought they were out of it. That fumble right there, not handling that ball, gave them life. We're up 19-14 at that point, and they're going to drive the length of the field and score and go for 2 and get it. And with about 46 seconds left to go, we're down. We're down 22-19, and you know, we get to this point, and Cole hits a 54-yard field goal. That is the state record. It is shared by 7 guys now. It is a school record. And then we punch it in, and I tell you, it was about second and third effort to get it in on 4th and 1 to go ahead. And then Gabe comes up with a big pick right here to seal the game. And it was a heck of a game to watch, I'm sure. It was a nail biter to coach in. People got their money's worth.
I was about to say, for fans, it was great. For coaches, man, it was kind of antsy there.
Well, very much so. But I tell you what, it goes down to our kids never believed they were out of it. Mm-hmm. And it goes down to everything that you practice during the week. We have a 10-minute specialty period that we do all our kicking, do a lot of stuff in pre-practice. And at the end of that specialty period, Cole kicks a 55-yard field goal every day. And sometimes he hits it and sometimes he doesn't. And but he had been in that situation every day at practice. And so, you know, somebody asked me the other day, said, Coach, what, did you really think he was going to hit it? Was it 10%? I said, it was over 50% that he had a shot to make this. I see him every day. And I said, I knew he had more than a 50% chance to hit it. And he went in there, and listen, we always say to win big ball games, kids have to make plays. And they went in there and made plays.
Are you already scheming, thinking he's going to make this field goal, and you're looking at overtime?
Well, there's no doubt. You know what? But you've already planned for it. On the back of my play sheet is 4 2-point plays, and then I script 5 overtime plays, so that you are prepared to go there at any time. You know, and so we felt it when he hit it. Anthony Jacks, who of course Jacks is in the box, he said, "We're going to beat them in overtime. We're the better football team." He said, we'll get this in overtime if we can just get it to overtime. You know, and so we felt very confident if he could hit the hit, if he could get it, we could get him in overtime.
Yeah, getting the kids back down after the tremendous field goal, you know, and you got to play an overtime period, and you got to gather the troops and say, hey, we're just beginning now.
That's right, and you know what, and the excitement level was so high, it was very much to get your kids back under their emotions so that they could win the overtime game. It was difficult. You know, I almost burned a timeout, but I thought I might need to have it to get them back under control, to realize that didn't win the game. We've got to win the game right here. And we'd already lost one game in overtime. You know, people don't remember, Mortimer Jordan went overtime, and we didn't win that one. I didn't want to lose another one in overtime. So, but listen, I just can't compliment our kids enough of always believing. Our quarterback jogged on the field after they scored and said, we do 2 minutes every day, guys, let's go. All we got to do is get in field goal range. I mean, he had in 46 seconds left, he thought he could drive his team and get them in field goal range. There was a confidence level because you do these things. So I'm very, very proud of our kids.
They say confidence breeds confidence, and that's what he was exuding, and the team caught up with it, and Sylacauga wins. Positions you in the third spot of the playoffs, and that's good.
It is. I mean, here's the thing about our region. Mortimer Jordan wins it. They beat us in overtime. They're 8-2.
And shouldn't have.
Yeah. Clay beats us but loses to Mortimer Jordan.
Crazy.
He's 8-2. He's second. Okay. We beat Centerpoint, but we lose to Clay. We're 8-2. You have three teams, 1, 2, and 3, 8-2, with a 7-3 Centerpoint who's as talented as anybody. And so and then you've got a 4 and 6 to 5 and 5 Montford team that can play with anybody. And I've said that. I've said it from the summer. I said it last year that there was going to be a good football team not get to go, and that the top 4 in our region is as good as anybody in the state. And I still believe that.
Sylacauga has played the best of the best in 5A football in this region.
I think so.
Does that help your confidence going in, saying, hey, we know that we can play with anybody because we played with everybody?
I think it does, but I also realize you don't want to underestimate anybody with an Alexandria team that is very proud. They have a rich, storied history in that school. Okay, you have the son of a legend that is coaching there now and doing things the way Alexandria has always done them. And that's a kid that's going to hit you. They're not going to give up. We've watched film after film on them already. Even when they got down against Etowah, they were trying to tag Etowah. That's a proud kid. He's proud to wear that Alexandria uniform. And so we're going to have our hands full. And playing at Death Valley is always a tough place to play. Now, our kids are very confident that they have faced the best in the state. Okay, so they're not intimidated to play anybody, but we have to realize that that's going to be as just a tough a game as anybody in our region right there to get out of the first round.
You talk about heritage and history, Lou Scales Stadium.
That's exactly.
Wow.
You know what you're talking, Lou Scales and Coach Ginn and then Frank, and now they've had 4 coaches in probably what? 80 years,
long time.
You know, maybe 100 years. I mean, that's incredible, and it speaks highly of the school.
Yeah. Now, this week, off week, and you had it planned like this, had it scheduled like this. What do you do in an off week headed into the first round of the playoffs?
Well, what we're doing is we're healing up. You know, that was a physical game. It followed a physical game against Clay that followed a physical game against Centerpoint. I mean, it was boom, boom, boom. And we won two of the three of those games. So it's a lot of, we're going through regular practice. We're keeping practice to about 2 hours every day. We practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We will practice today. And we're keeping practice about 2 hours. We've got them in shells. We're trying to heal up, and it gives you an extra week to work on Alexandria. The way we look at it, Alexandria is having to prepare for Chilton County all week this week. All right. Well, we are preparing for them. So it gives you just a heads up. You know, it gives you just a little bit more prep time to get smoother at your stuff, and you fix some things along yourself. You go back to fundamentals, things that you don't have time maybe during the week to fix. Now you've got time to fix. And then, you know, tomorrow, Friday, we'll go watch Chilton County, Alexandria. Saturday, I get to take a great trip. Me and Coach Z will probably ride together, and we'll go to Montgomery. Both of us are in the playoffs, and you don't get to make that trip. Every coach is not going to make that trip unless you're in the playoffs. And it's a privilege and an honor, and it's one of the most enjoyable things to do is to see coaches that are in there. And then we'll go back to work and see if we can win the first round.
Cole Porch was named the Alabama High School Athletic Association Player of the Week with that 54-yard field goal. And people are in a buzz about that and about Sylacauga's 8-2 record. But you've been sold on this team all year.
Sure, I have. Listen, you know, the biggest thing is, to me, a 7-3 year is still a very good year across the state. To me, it would have been disappointing for this group to go 7-3 just because I think they've done everything so right. They're a very talented bunch. And to be 7-3 and not go to the playoffs would have been a very disappointing year for them and for this coaching staff and the community. But, And I say but, you don't let, it didn't happen, thank goodness, but don't lessen what these kids have accomplished and how good a team this is, and that they can play with the best in the state when they come to play. They're as good as, we may not be in the top 10. I think we're 12.
You're right there.
Well, we're a top 10 to top 15 team, but we have been for 12 years. We've been ranked in the top 15 for about a decade now. And this group really wants to give over that hump. And I think they can. That first step's Alexandria, because we tell you, once you get in the playoffs, everybody's 0-0, and it's anybody's game because you lose, you're going home. You win, you go to the next round. And I think they realize this. We talk about that grind. Usually around week 8, you got to grind. It's a grind in football, and everybody gets tired. I've not seen that in this bunch. I mean, we hit game 10 last week, and it felt like game 5. And I said, that's the way it's supposed to feel when you go on a championship run, because you got 5 more now to have a chance to win it. You're talking in 5 weeks, all this will be settled 1A through 7A in the next month. And so, do you want to keep playing? And I think they do, and I think they're working hard. We've had some good practices, so we'll see.
What a great way for your seniors to win on their home field on the final regular season game, and they've been a great group to coach.
They have. It's a large group. There's 21 of them. It was senior night. People forget that. Their parents got to see it, and what a wonderful thing to do. And I tell you what, though, they stepped off the field, and they were making an oath to each other. I could hear them that it wasn't going to be their last home game. They really, if they win Friday night against Alexandria, we will host.
And it's been a while.
And it's been a while. It's been since Spanish Fort, maybe 2012, 2013, and it's one of those goals that these kids set for themselves.
All right, Coach Matt Griffith, the head football coach and athletic director at Sylacauga High School, preparing for Alexandria a week from Friday night. That'll be our Alabama High School Athletic Association television game of the week. The only game on television that week anywhere in Alabama is going to be that one. So you got a lot of eyes on it. It'll be a lot of butts in the seat, and good luck to the Aggies.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
More Daybreak right after this.